Are you aware of deductible protection plans and what they can do relative to your health insurance? Hi, I'm Tommy at medicalinsurancetoday.com. I'm going to do a little longer form video on 3 deductible protection plans that are supplemental to your major medical. So you have your major medical plan. It's got X deductible, whatever that may be, and generally you have a maximum out of pocket on that health plan. So if you have major claims, you're in the hospital, you're having surgery, you get hurt, you get diagnosed with something significant, you're in a hospital bed, those types of things, you have generally, on most plans, are going to run from as low as like $3,000 and $4,000 up to $8,000 and $9,000 out of pocket annually that you could pay. So, for instance, you get diagnosed with cancer. God forbid, we're going to talk about cancer. We're going to talk about injuries and heart attacks and those major types of things. If you get diagnosed with cancer, God forbid, and you are under treatment, you're going to plan on hitting your maximum out of pocket for the year. So if you have an $8,000 maximum out of pocket, which many plans do these days, that year you're out $8,000 plus your monthly premiums, plus you got to keep, living as you go forward. And then your deductible and out-of-pocket expenses start over every January 1. So people with long-term illnesses and long-term issues can really see some significant billing from their major medical. Even though you have insurance, you're still going to have bills that come along with it. So, hence deductible protection plans. These are secondary supplemental policies that are supplemental to your major medical. So, first one we're going to talk about is accident protection. So, accident protection based upon any accidental injury. So, let's say that I like to usually list off some examples. Your plan's out in the yard with your kids and you twist your knee and all of a sudden you're needing knee surgery. I can speak to that because it's happened to me. Accident protection will come in and pay you a direct benefit to you that will then help you pay your deductible and out-of-pocket expense on your major medical. So there are plans that'll pay as much if you're hospitalized. It'll pay you 20 grand. Usually it goes between a 10, 15, or $20,000 benefit for hospital. It'll pay you for emergency visits, any type of diagnostic exams that are being done. So, typically if you have a major injury, you're going to need MRIs or CT scans. You have urgent care, physical therapy. The accident policy will pay you upon all of those issues that you undergo, and you use that money then to pay your out-of-pocket expenses on your health plan. Super valuable. I had a knee surgery last year, and I literally paid $250 of $6,000 in claims. Saved me a bundle of money, and that policy literally cost me $38 a month. It doesn't cost a lot to protect yourself. And the people that should be thinking about this is, number one, you're active, you play sports, you work out, you ride a bicycle, you ride a motorcycle. If you have children, if your children are active and playing sports, we all know how kids get hurt. I have a 5 and a 7-year-old. If you know how kids get hurt, it's constant. Usually they bounce back up, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes they lay down and say, oh, I broke my arm. Oh, I broke my wrist. Oh, I twisted my ankle. I need x-rays. God knows what happens. So accident protection will help you financially protect that big exposure you have on your major medical, because all major medical is going to leave you with a bill if you use it. And that's where these plans come in. So accident protection, super valuable for active lifestyle people and people with children. Super, super important. Secondly, critical illness. I believe this has a tremendous value. Critical illness is based upon 3 major health diagnoses. First is cancer, heart attack, and stroke. Those 3 big ones: cancer, heart attack, and stroke. So, critical illness policy. You build a policy that will usually pay you a benefit of 20 to 30, up as high as $100,000. We usually will structure a policy that's between $30,000 and $50,000 for our consumers, because it generally is affordable. Our goal is to keep these things affordable for people and offer the right amount of coverage. So let's say you have an $8,000 maximum out of pocket on your Anthem or Blue Shield or Health Net or Kaiser Health plan, and God forbid you get diagnosed with cancer. That year, you're going to pay that $8,000 max out of pocket. You also have to pay your monthly premiums. And if you're diagnosed with cancer, God forbid, but if you are, you're also likely going to be out of work. So the critical illness policy, if you have a $50,000 critical illness policy, when you get diagnosed, you submit your paperwork within 60 days, you're going to have a $50,000 check in your possession. That $50,000 you can use to pay your out-of-pocket expenses on your health plan. You can use it to pay your mortgage or rent. You can use it to keep the lights on at home, fill the refrigerator. Whatever your expenses are, it's for you. So it's a living benefit, we like to call it. The prevalence of cancer and heart disease and stroke in our society is rampant. 1 in 48% of men by the time they're 75 are going to have a heart attack. 1 in 3 women. And we all know about the prevalence of cancer with our lifestyles and our diet and all the things going on around us in our world. I can't tell you how many people I've spoken to in the last year that have been diagnosed with cancer. It's a gigantic number. So critical illness, supplemental to your major medical, comes in, and it's a living benefit that helps you pay your deductibles and helps you keep the lights on at home while you're getting well. Invaluable in my view. You know, it's like a living disability to a degree. It's not a disability product, to be clear. However, it's, you know, something that everyone should be aware of. Is why I'm doing this video, is make people aware that these products exist. Most people don't even know when I mention it to them that they even exist. So critical illness, highly valuable and very affordable. You know, a $30, $40, $50,000 policy for someone in their 40s is going to run you 30, 40, 50 bucks a month. It's not crazy expensive. Most people think it's really expensive when I talk with them, and it's not overly costly to add one of these policies to your health insurance plan. Last, third deductible protection plan is what's called a hospital confinement plan, or a daily room and board plan in the insurance world. So hospital confinement is, so just as it sounds, if you are confined to a hospital, you're admitted to a hospital bed and you are in the hospital, it'll pay you a daily benefit. Now, most people will elect between a $500 and $1,000 daily benefit. And, you know, let's say you do a 5-day hospital stay because of X reason. You know, car accident, God forbid, you end up with some kind of diagnosis, some kind of surgery, some kind of illness, whatever the case may be. It can be illness or injury. Whatever lands you in a hospital bed, this policy will start to pay you for every day that you're in the hospital. That comes in and it will pay your out-of-pocket expenses. So many people are saying, you know, I have people come in and say, well, I got this big deductible on my plan, or I had a hospital stay and it cost me $5,000 or $7,000. A daily room and board policy is going to help you pay a majority of that cost, depending how many days you go in the hospital. It's a per diem benefit that they pay. Every day you're in, it pays you X benefit. And there are add-ons to these daily room and board policies that will pay you for follow-up doctor visits and the things that do for you while you're in the hospital that start to accumulate. And, you know, most people, if you have a daily room and board policy and it's structured properly above $500 and $750 a day, you're not going to have a medical bill when you come out of a hospital stay if you have a product like this, generally. So 3 products, again: accident, critical illness, and daily room and board hospital confinement. If you were to add a comprehensive package of all 3, you wouldn't spend more than $150 to $175 a month to add all 3 of those policies. They're all going to run you in between 30 and 50, maybe 60 bucks a month each. And, you know, if you know someone that's had cancer and seen the financial consequences of getting sick with cancer, or if you know someone that, you know, God forbid, got in a car accident or a motorcycle accident and they're in a hospital for a week, you know, these types of products come in and financially save people. I've seen it save people financially. Over half of America lives paycheck to paycheck. And yes, it's an additional cost to add these policies to your coverage. However, it's like, I always use the analogy of if you're buying an auto policy. If you go and talk to an agent about buying an auto policy and you buy the minimum coverage of $30,000 and you hit a Mercedes, you just possibly went bankrupt because your insurance policy is insufficient. So a lot of major medical policies, although they cover a lot, you're going to have big bills when you use it. And that's where these plans come in, is they help you plug those gaps and the deductible gaps that you have on your insurance. So again, many people are not even aware of it. So this is educational, I like for it to be. It's something that everybody should at least know is out there, because if you did, most people would at least consider spending a little bit more money to have a little bit better insurance. So if this video, if you're still watching, if it sparked an interest and you say, you know what, I'm curious about this, please get in touch with our office, Medical Insurance Today. We're in Costa Mesa and we would love to help you. Please get in touch, and we do look forward to serving you.